Hello, everybody. I was watching a show, and a lot of stuff came to me when I was watching by it was a religious show, and I thought, well, as I was watching, and then a lot of stuff popped in my mind. I was watching a certain episode about it, and I wanted to do a segment about it about princes and powers, seen and unseen, who fight against the common good. All right. Hopefully this works, goes into play. It was all in my mind running. I was trying to do my best to get it all sorted out together. But hey, let's run with it and hope and pray it works. All right. All right. We're going to Daniel chapter 6, verse 1 through 24, I think. Let me see. Yep. With 24. All right. It pleased Darius to set over the kingdom 120 princes, which should be over the whole kingdom, and over the three presidents, of whom Daniel was first, that the princes might account unto them the king should have no damage. Then Daniel was preferred above all the princes, because his excellent spirit was in him, and the king thought to set him over the whole realm. Okay. Daniel's good. Anybody who's ever read Daniel knows he's a just, righteous man. There's forces out there who don't like that. They want the power, the privilege, the love of money, or, the praise of men. All right. Examples. Then the presidents and princes sought to find accusation against Daniel concerning the kingdom, but they could not, none accusation nor fault, for as much as he was faithful, neither was there any error or fault found in him. Then said these men, we shall find any Then said these men, we shall not find any accusation against this Daniel, except we find it against him concerning the law of his God. Okay, the law of his God. They're going to use the law of God against him, or him, I'm sorry. Then these presidents and princes assembled together to the king, and said unto him, King Darius, live forever. Praise of men. All the presidents of the kingdom, the governors, and the princes, the counselors, and the captains have counseled together to establish a royal statute, and to make firm decree that whosoever shall ask petition of any god or man for 30 days, save of thee, O king, he shall be cast into the lion's den. Well, ain't that interesting? Princes and powers of the air, who, working together to for the their evil, because of the flesh, or power, privilege. How it goes. Now, O king, establish the decree and sign the writing, that it may not change, accounting to the law of the Medes and the Persians, which alter not. Wherefore King Darius signed the writing and the decree. Now Daniel knew that the writing was signed, and he went into his house, and his windows being opened, his chamber toward Jerusalem, he kneeled upon his knees 3 times a day, and prayed, gave thanks before God, as he did before time. Sorry. Okay. Luke 18 will give you a good example. Here we go. Luke 18. And he spake a parable unto this end, that men ought always to pray and faint not, saying, There was in a city a judge which feared not God, neither regarded men. And there was a widow in that city, and she came unto me, saying, Avenge me of mine adversary. And he would not for a while, but afterward said with himself, Though I fear not God nor regard men, yet because this widow troubleth me, I will avenge her, lest by her continue she weary me. And the Lord said, Hear what the unjust judge saith, and shall not God avenge his own elect, which cry day and night on him, though he bear long with them? And shall not the Son of Man cometh and find faith on the earth? Okay. I just wanted to throw that in there as basically spake a parable to pray and faint not, always to pray, be in season and out of season. All right, back to it. Then these men assembled and found Daniel praying, making supplication before his God. Then they came near and spake before the king concerning the king's decree. Hast thou not signed a decree that every man that shall ask a petition of any god or man within 30 days, save of thee, O king, shall he be cast into the den of lions? The king answered and said, The thing is true, according to the law of the Medes and Persians, which altereth not. Okay. Then answered and said they, The king, that Daniel, captive of Judah, regardeth not thee, O king, nor the decree that thou hast signed, but maketh petitions 3 times a day. Okay. Put on the armor of faith, the whole armor of God, to be able to withstand the fiery darts of the devil. Then the king, when he heard these words, was sore displeased within himself, and set his heart on Daniel to deliver him. And he labored till the going down of the sun to deliver him. Okay. Tried to find a way to get rid of him. Sorry. Then these men assembled unto the king, and said unto the king, Know, O king, that the law of the Medes and Persians is that no decree nor statute which the king established shall be changed. Then the king commanded, and they brought Daniel and cast him into the den of lions. Now the king spake unto Daniel, Thy God whom thou servest continually be with thee. All right, good man. He likes Daniel, doesn't hate him. And a stone was brought and laid upon the mouth of the den, and the king sealed it with his own signet and with the signet of his lords, that the purpose might be changed. The purpose not changed concerning Daniel. Then the king went to his palace and passed the night fasting. Neither was instrument or music brought before him, and his sleep went from him. A good man, he cared for Daniel. Then the king arose very early in the morning, and went in haste unto the den of lions. And when he came to the den, he cried with a lamentation voice unto Daniel. And the king spake and said to Daniel, O Daniel, servant of the living God, is thy God whom thou servest continually able to deliver thee from the lions? Then Daniel said unto the king, O king, live forever. He's alive. My God hath sent his angel and has shut up the lions' mouths, that they have not hurt me. For as much as before, as my innocence was found in me, and also before thee, O king, have I done no hurt. Okay, celebration. Then was the king exceedingly glad for him, and commanded him that they should take Daniel up out of the den. So Daniel was taken up out of the den. No manner of hurt was found in him, because he believed in his God. Okay. And the king commanded that they brought these men which accused Daniel, and they cast them into the den of lions. Their children, their wives, and their lions had mastery over them, and brake all their bones in pieces ever they came to the bottom of the den. All right. Wicked men trying to prevent justice and truth. A good man doing what he can. All right. Now we'll go to 2 Timothy 3:8 here. Another, I'm sorry. Now as Jannes and Jambres withstood most, so do these also resist the truth. Men of corrupt minds reprobate concerning the faith. Okay. Now we're going to go to Exodus 7:11 and 12 and 22, and then Exodus 8:7. You have to bear with me on this one. All right, here we go. Then Pharaoh also called the wise men and the sorcerers. Now the magicians of Egypt, they did likewise with their enchantments. For they cast down every man his rod, and they became serpents, but Aaron's rod swallowed up their rods. Kind of interesting. More truth being swallowed up and thrown down. And the magicians, this is 22, and the magicians of Egypt did also with their enchantments, and Pharaoh's heart was hardened, and they did not, and he did not hearken to him as the Lord had said. That's another, they, still fighting the truth. And the magicians did also with their enchantments, and brought up frogs upon the land of Egypt. They're still fighting with, seen and unseen powers, Now we're going to go back to 1 Timothy 6:5 here. Uh, 6:5. Perverse disputers of men, of corrupt minds, and destitute of the truth, supposing that gain is godliness. From such withdraw thyself. All right. Okay. People will do that, fight against the truth. Now we'll go to Exodus 13:6-12. I can get it here. Stupid. Okay. And that was, Exodus 13:6-12. And when they had gone through the isles of Pathos, they found a certain sorcerer, a false prophet, a Jew, whose name was Bar-Jesus, which was of the deputy of the country Sergius Paulus, a prudent man who called for